We rank Tom Brady's greatest drives here on a special edition of Patscast. Welcome to Patscast. I'm Brad Whitaker. We are here with a special edition podcast with Tom Brady being inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. What better time to go over his top 5 drives, not just as a member of New England Patriots, but throughout his career. Now, all 5 of these are Patriots moments. Yes, he had some big drives with the Bucs, but I think if we're going to pick his top 5, all of them are going to come with the Patriots. And that starts with number 5, the Super Bowl comeback versus the Seattle Seahawks in 2015. And part of what made this drive so significant is, we talk about the Patriots dynasty and how great they were for 20 plus years. But in reality, there was a 10-year lull there between Super Bowls number 3 and number 4 for the Patriots. And yes, they had some good teams. They almost had an undefeated season. But what made this Super Bowl so special in the early part of 2015 is Seattle Seahawks looked like the rising team in the NFL. They were defending champions. Patriots were down by 10 in the second half, and Brady brought the team down the field with a game-winning drive, some big throws to Gronk, big touchdown to Edelman. Now, the reason this isn't higher on the list is because the most significant part of that Super Bowl happened shortly after this game-winning drive, when Malcolm Butler sealed the deal with a game-winning interception in the red zone. And really, the Seahawks should have had a game-winning drive in the final minute of that game, but we all know what Malcolm Butler did there. But deserves to make the list with Tom Brady finally getting that 4th Super Bowl after a decade off of Super Bowl victories. Really, I think he cherishes this as perhaps his most significant Super Bowl because it took so long for him to get back to that point. But we all know what he did after that Super Bowl, winning 3 more. But the number 4 game comes against the Atlanta Falcons, his following Super Bowl victory 2 years later in Houston against the Falcons. Patriots came back from 28-3. Now, the reason this isn't higher on the list is because we're talking about the greatest drives here, not necessarily the greatest games. I think this probably could go down as the greatest game of Tom Brady's career, leading that incredible 25-point comeback, using every minute it took, and ultimately winning the game in overtime with this game-winning drive. And, we're really talking about the totality of this game when we talk about its significance, but we all knew when the Patriots won the coin flip that the game was over, but Brady did an excellent job on that game-winning drive against Atlanta, threw a number of receivers open, and James White finished with the rest. That comes in at number 4. Now we're going to go back in time for the next 2. Number 3 on this list is the Super Bowl winning drive versus the St. Louis Rams, and this is Brady's signature moment when he got started in the league, became a Super Bowl winner with this drive. We all know John Madden said the Patriots don't have a lot of time left on the clock. I would take a knee and play for overtime. The Rams really started to light it up offensively in the second half, but Brady did what Brady does, had a few dinks and dunks, had some big throws, and ultimately set up a game-winning field goal for Adam Vinatieri to deliver the Patriots their first Super Bowl championship. Perhaps this is Brady's most memorable moment because this is when Tom Brady really put himself on the map and became a celebrity, a star football player, and we all know he became an MVP caliber player and ultimately the greatest of all time years later. But that brings us to number 2. You couldn't have number 3 without number 2, and that game is the Snow Bowl 2 weeks before the final game at the old Foxborough Stadium, the Tuck Rule game, if you will. If it weren't for the Tuck Rule, who knows if any of these moments would have ultimately happened. Brady had some big throws. I believe there was a 4th down throw in here. It was 4th and 4, something like that. This is the first time we saw the California kid prove that he can play and be a star in New England in the snow. Got a big break with the Tuck Rule. Wasn't a fumble. His arm was going forward, but this ultimately set up Adam Vinatieri for a game-winning field goal in the snow. Really, the more impressive drive was the drive that came before his game-winning drive in overtime. I guess I can kind of lump the two together, and that's why this is number 2, because it ultimately set up Brady's Super Bowl winning drive at number 3, and ultimately set up the dynasty for the Patriots for 20 plus seasons. But number 1, we're actually going to one of the later significant games of Brady's career, and that is the 2018 championship game, AFC championship game at Arrowhead Stadium against the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes won the MVP that year. The Chiefs offense, this is the first time we ever saw them. They had Tyreek Hill out there. Travis Kelce in the prime of his career. We all know the Chiefs were expected to march all over the Patriots. This was the Pats' first game back at Arrowhead Stadium since they got blown out on Monday Night Football. Tom Brady converted on 3 consecutive 3rd and long plays, 2 to Julian Edelman, 1 to Gronk, and then they finished the game on the ground in that tough, loud Arrowhead environment, and it showed that, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is going to be in the race for one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but Brady didn't just beat him in the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He won this game at Arrowhead Stadium, and it might be the reason Brady continues to stay as the GOAT. It also showed that the new regime in the NFL, the new dynasty, the Kansas City Chiefs, would have to wait another year, and that the Patriots still had something left. This brought the Pats their final Super Bowl, with Brady ultimately coming through in the clutch in some of his greatest moments in Arrowhead, and that is why it is number 1 on this list. But let me know if you disagree with any of this. Did I get the order wrong? Is there something I'm missing? I'm curious to hear from you in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, and make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit that notification bell, or subscribe if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'll be back later this week with some more regular, up-to-date Patriots coverage.
Yeah, the jacket's like so